the motherfucking field. We busting heads. We ask questions.
All right. We are ready. 7U semifinal game. West Orlando Jags taking on Atlanta Supreme. You're watching the YNC on Generation X. Welcome to Wellington, Florida, the home of the U Football National Championship presented by Battle. I'm Brandon O'Doy. Jonah Willard will be here in just a moment. This is the 7U semifinal game between two excellent youth football teams, Atlanta Elite Supreme and the West Orlando Jaguars. Great sunny day, Wellington Beach, Wellington, Florida. 71 degrees, great football weather, clear skies, sunny. Time to play football, championship football. Coin toss has already been completed, and we are set to get underway with the kickoff. Jags will kick off to Atlanta Elite Supreme. Supreme is in the green and white. West Orlando, teal and gray. Third game of the day for us here on field number 1. Exciting youth football action all day long. A gem of a game was just completed here between So Icy and the winner, Bessemer Tigers 9U. Who will win this game? We're about to find out. 7U action. West Orlando, Atlanta Elite Supreme, 7U kicking off right here on Generation X. Kick is up through the hands of one young man. Supreme will fall on the ball. They'll begin at the 25-yard line, Jonah Willard.
Absolutely. Well, Brandon, if you haven't seen the Supreme offense in person, you're in for a treat. This team actually can do it in the air and on the ground. And I know that sounds surprising at the age of 7 and under. You're like, well, how much can they really do? Well, this is a team that runs a hurry-up offense. They get their signals in from the sideline. The quarterback doesn't always have to run over there to get their play. But most importantly, the quarterback can throw any pass on the football field. And that's what I said. That they can run. He can throw the pass. He can throw the dig. He can throw the curl route. So it's a very polished quarterback with an experienced offensive line. Now, of course, West Orlando Jags, a very well-knitted team, a very well-coached team, strong defense, but they'll have to prove to the number 1 ranked team, which is Supreme, that they came here to fight. They came here to get a championship. They're going to have to earn it out on the football field today.
West Orlando got their work cut out. Atlanta Supreme, first down play. Still on his feet. He won't get much. Bring up second down. 7U, no coaches on the field. So communication is at a premium for these second and third graders. Gain of about 3 on the previous play. First quarter action. Flag on the play. Ball is up. Receiver is by himself. Bounces off his shoulder pads.
Flag on the play that we see back here, Brandon. We'll see where that comes in. But you can see Supreme wants to go to the air early, and they're going to test the defensive backs of this Jaguars team early, often and early.
The air attack is in Wellington with this Atlanta Supreme team, and they are going West Orlando. They see something they don't like early.
Absolutely.
Burns an early timeout. You don't really see that. You're watching Generation X. Here we go. Second down and 4. The give is right along the left-hand side. First down. Full house backfield. He's going. Big time gain on the play.
And a late flag comes in. That's probably going to be a sideline warning right there, as the referees want a clear way to go. But it just shows you how the Supreme team, this offense can get going and get big chunks of yards quickly, Brandon.
A prolific offense indeed. It's going to back them up. Sideline interference. It's a 15-yard penalty. It will stay first down. Some confusion with the chains. Referees want to figure out the call, make sure where the alignment of the chains is in consideration of the penalty. Lots of discussion about this. So it's a sideline infraction, and both the referees are conferencing, trying to figure out where the ball will be placed based on the yardage gain on the big run by the quarterback from the Atlanta Elite Supreme and the penalty, which is 15 yards. Looks like it's sorted out. It's going to be first and about 20 yards, 20, 25 yards for Atlanta Supreme. Significant penalty there. Defense Supreme ball carrier down. Gain of 1 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down. Second down. Play being signaled in from the sidelines. The give is left. 1 to 2 on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long. So 3rd and long here for Atlanta Supreme. They're going to need one of those long pass plays. They're drumming one up. It's back. Too far.
And I can tell you, Brandon, it just seems like Supreme is just trying to come out and woo the audience right now, not really running their offense and trying to take yards here and yards there. You see that's their second attempt to go for the big play. Coming out here early in this first quarter action, you see 2 9 routes executed on the same drive.
Yeah, kind of seems as if they want to get some knockout blows
Early.
pretty quickly. Kind of have to take what the game gives you typically in football. They're going to punt here, and as you may have heard us say on previous broadcasts, 7U, you get a 30-yard punt if you make that determination, letting the referees know. So they're going to do that now. West Orlando is going to take over on their own 25-yard line.
Yo, Brandon, that just comes from the experience of that coaching staff of this Supreme offense, that they're not going to play what you call, Madden type of football. They're going to go ahead and play field position. So they'll elect to punt it and challenge this West Orlando's offense to drive the field. So that instead of having that ball maybe potentially on the 45-yard line, or their own 45-yard line, they flip the field and the ball be spotted all the way back to the 25 of the opponent. So we'll see how that plays out, and they'll depend on their defense. So it's just as much as we talked about how talented the Supreme offense is, they are just as talented on the defensive side. The Jaguars is talented as well, and that's why they are here to play for this right to go to the next level, right to go to the 7 and under Youth National Championship. So Orlando come out here with trips. Very interesting to see how they match up against these defensive backs from Supreme.
Nice runner on the right-hand side, and that is very, very good first play, first down yardage for West Orlando.
Absolutely, Brandon. The running back had his head down. You could see it. He was expecting some contact at the line of scrimmage. If he has his head up, maybe he can get some more yards, but brings up 2nd and short for this West Orlando offense.
2nd down. Multiple players flip positions on the field. 3 wide. False start on the play. It's a little bit too excited. They're still 7-year-old kids, Jonah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got to keep that in mind, that it takes a lot to be disciplined. But these are advanced 7 and under players. This is not your average 7U teams on either side of the ball. Brandon, you got some NFL players that can't stop jumping off sides and false start to this day.
It's a penalty for a reason. 2nd down after they back up 5. 2nd and 7.
Wow.
He's got some room.
Wow.
He's got some speed. Oh, my God. Willie.
Wow.
Kenny.
Wow.
Touchdown,
Jaguars jump out like a cannon, and all I heard was vroom, as he hit down the football field And you don't usually see players like that against this Supreme defense. But, man, Jaguars come out early in the game and just show you, like, listen, we heard all this talk about Supreme. We heard about how good their offense is. We'll check out some of our offense as well. Take a look at this replay, as there was no slowing down on that play at all. He hit it. He knew where he needed to go, Brandon, and he just turned on the juice from that point.
The speed, Jonah Wood. I'm impressed by how fast that young man got missing. So we got the extra point try here.
That score comes with 6 minutes and 21 seconds in the first quarter, Brandon. And, man, the Supreme fans in the stands are shocked right now just how.
Got really quiet just a moment ago.
Oh, yeah.
Probably took too long here. It's a false start. Got to back him up. 5 on the try.
So as they get ready to reset, check out this play here, Brandon. And you see them go off tackle to the right, executed the blocks, and then it was just a race. And right then you would think it would go foot for foot, but he was just able to outlast all the way to the end zone. When he got to the 20-yard line, he put some distance between him and the closest defender.
That lets you know how fast someone is when they've got the line and the bead on you and you run right by them.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the try. It's important. No good up the middle. But the damage has been done by West Orlando.
Yeah, Brandon, I agree with you. They come out strike first. What does that do for the mentality of a team that they come in as underdogs? They heard all the hype about the #1 ranked team in the nation. They heard about how talented they are, and they come out on their first possession and touchdown.
It's still Florida football. And West Orlando probably feels pretty well at home. They're not very far from where they live. Maybe about 2 hours and change. This isn't that far of a drive to get to West Palm Beach. And so all of their fans were very excited, very animated. Like, we told you, we are coming here to play football. We see the flashy uniforms. We see the organization. We know about the reputation. We see the one next to your name, which means you're a top-ranked team, but you got to see us, as we like to say in South Florida.
Got to see me.
6-0 is your ball game. West Orlando scored. They're kicking off with the lead. They give it to Supreme. Looking probably for room. He might. He will. Touchdown. Supreme.
Wow.
Look at him.
Wow.
Look at the fans.
Those same parents
Look at the parents.
that was
Oh my
quiet
gosh.
before, they are no longer quiet. They woke up. They are back in it just with that touchdown that quick. Supreme ties up the score on one single play. A lot of sparks here at the YNT early in this game, Brandon, and that's what your takeoff work for, right? This is what you're tuning in for, right? Not just sit games, and we talk about how advanced these 7 and under teams were. 30 was not having it. He said, you know what? You got to see me as well.
Now for the all-important extra point. This is important. Championship football, Jonah. Offense, defense, but also
special teams.
Can't forget about that third aspect of the game.
Oh, yeah.
It will get you beat. Six your score. Supreme for the extra point. Snap is good. Up the middle. Looks promising. He's in.
Extra point is good. So that has your score 8-6 as Supreme enters the West Orlando Jags touchdown immediately. And let's look at this play, how it developed. You see how the wall gets set up here, Brandon. He catches that right at our eye, and that's their starting tailback. So he's already nifty with the ball.
Those two guys didn't close at the bottom of the screen. You saw them. They didn't squeeze. Coaches always say, squeeze to the ball. And he said, bye-bye, baby.
Absolutely. So the number 1 ranked team in the nation, Supreme, takes the lead for the first time in this game as we are early in the first quarter with already a total of 14 points between the two teams, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter, Brandon.
Tide had changed very briefly for West Orlando, but that momentum is gone. This Atlanta Supreme team has a lot of fan support this afternoon. A lot of fans in the stands, a lot of fans online. Thank you for joining us on Generation Next. Brandon O'Doy alongside Jonah Willard for this very special broadcast in the middle of the afternoon here in Wellington, Florida, South Florida, West Palm Beach, General Metro area. You are watching the 7U, 7 and under, Atlanta Supreme in the green and white, and the West Orlando Jags in the teal and gray. Timeout on the field. Jonah, it looks like Atlanta Supreme wants to make sure they don't get a kick run back on them with the speed that West Orlando has already distributed.
Yeah, well, a lot of speed on both sides of this football. You're talking about Georgia versus Florida right here, and it's already been displayed on, special teams, as you just said it. What was the difference so far for this team? Well, we haven't even seen it from the Supreme offense yet. It's special teams that scores for them first with speed. And West Orlando Jag comes up here and they say, listen, we don't fear anybody. We can score in anybody. And their running back goes the distance for a 60-yard touchdown. So, listen, get your popcorn ready, as we would say. This is definitely going to be a good one right here on Generation X Sports Network.
So the coaches have given the warnings. They have a very specific place they want this football to be kicked to, and nowhere near the young man that just scored for West Orlando. And I don't think they wanted it to be kicked backwards.
Well, they'll get the penalty for illegal touching, and of course the offense can set up where they want to. Well, not where they want to, or where the ball is spotted, and that'll be midfield. So that looks like the decision that West Orlando will make. So they'll set up their offense, Brandon, with 6 minutes and 3 seconds in the first quarter, midfield.
I'll live with that every day of the week. With a gentleman by the name of that young man, as fast as he is, I want the ball anywhere near him.
Yeah, he can get you in the end zone quick in a hurry.
First down for the Jags. A little bit of confusion offensively there. Player runs off, he runs back, he runs off, he runs back.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if he'll make it, Brandon. He's not sure where he's going.
All right, all set. First down, midfield. West Orlando, there he is, the touchdown maker. He picks up 3. Easy to spot. He's got the black helmet. I bring up second down and 8. Something you hadn't seen over the years, multiple guys taking snaps, Jonah.
Yeah.
That's the evolution of youth football. He's running in reverse. Wow, he got out of it.
Oh, he's getting hit around like a ping pong ball up there. But I don't know if that's what they want to keep going back to, Brandon, against this defense. Direct snaps and playing Wildcat like the old days of Ronnie Brown and those guys is not going to work.
No lead blockers, no counter, no play action. This team is too fast and high pursuit. West Orlando probing, trying to figure something out offensively. They got up first, went up 6-0 on one play. Didn't have to string a drive together, but now they're having to play offense. Big hit on third down. Fourth down and decision time, Jonah Willard. At midfield, what do you do here?
Well, number one, I think you got to slow down Supreme from teeing off the ball, Brandon. I think you got to change up the cadence. And it's going to do you a couple things. Get you some free yards, and then also slow down the rush or the penetration of the Supreme defensive line.
Do you take the chance of punting? They've already run one back.
Yeah, I definitely keep it out of the hands of those skill positions of the Supreme right now. Midfield, guess what? I'm going to take my chances here and see what happens. But instead of just running a play, before I run a play, let's just see if we can get them to jump off sides and get close to a first down.
Atlanta Supreme wants to talk about it. Their second timeout of the afternoon in this first quarter. 4:19 to play in this first quarter of play. 7U matchup, Atlanta Elite Supreme, West Orlando Jags. Been a wonderful day here at the YNC. Great day for football. Couldn't ask for better weather. Not too hot, not too cold, sunny, no clouds. Excellent. Big fourth down here. I'm going to call it 4th and 6 for West Orlando. See what play call they come up with. Man in motion. Oh, he motioned, but he made advances toward the line of scrimmage, don't it? You can't do that.
Well, now it's punt time. You know, what are your odds of getting 10 yards or 11 yards for a first down? Switch that up and then walk off those yards.
Back to midfield now.
And look like the coaches took our advice. After that penalty there, he's going to go ahead and punt that ball. They'll walk it off, and he'll put his defense out there to live another day.
So, 4:13 remaining in the first quarter. Atlanta Supreme leading the West Orlando Jags. How do we get here? 2 big runs. West Orlando scored on offense. Atlanta Supreme scored on special teams. Supreme gets an opportunity for another offensive drive, and they lead by 2 points.
Now, a play I want you to look out for on the Supreme offense is number 17. They call him Hulk. At the fullback position, and once he gets the first handoff, you'll see why they call him Hulk.
Run to the right. Still on his feet. Nifty run here.
Absolutely. Number 2 is going to be one of their shifty backs, keeps his feet moving. And the guy who you just saw that punt return, number 30, he comes in and checks in at the offense now.
Kind of looked like he was kind of skipping and hopping along.
Yeah.
Didn't look like so much of a run there, but it was effective.
Now, when 30 gets the ball, he is electrifying as well for Supreme. And he was just about to get the handoff there.
False start. Maybe they felt it.
Yeah.
It's going to back him up 5 yards. This Atlanta Elite Supreme team with the Oregon Duck inspired uniforms.
Listen, this is vintage Atlanta Ducks. You know, with Kai and Brandon Morton, they started this organization coming out from the Vikings from Sandtown a while time ago, but this was the advancement. And here's number 30 that I was telling you about, Brandon.
Nice. Big gain saving tackle on the edge there for West Orlando.
A lot of speed for this West Orlando defense. Any other team, Brandon, that's a touchdown. West Orlando shows you why they are here at the YNC. They have talent on that side of the football field as well. Able to cut number 30 down, you know, saving a potential touchdown with the 5-yard gain brings up maybe a 4-yard gain, brings up 2nd and 6.
Very impressed by the drip of the Supreme team and the run. On on second down picks up a first. And that's characteristic of those Duck teams.
Absolutely.
Jonah, they were never outdone when it came to their uniform and attire.
Oh, absolutely. You can line that drip up against the best in the country.
Who are some of the most drippiest youth football programs in the country as we have this first down throw to the flats?
Oh.
It's dropped.
Well, you go back to some teams like the Golden Army. Freezy had his team out there as a matter of fact, they would have titles of their uniforms. He had the one night only, the camouflage vibe, so the Golden Army did as well. And of course, the original Atlanta Ducks Elite, not just Supreme. The Atlanta Ducks Elite, super drippy. These guys would come out with the chrome helmets doing their things. And let's not forget our brothers over there on the West Coast. IG Ducks, Coach Keefe, come out cleaner than some of the you can compare with some of the best teams in the country. So those top three, I would say, drip-wise for me that I've seen over the years, OG Ducks, back then IE Ducks, Atlanta Ducks, a lot of Duck teams in here. And then, of course, the Miami Garden Chiefs, but they called them Golden Army. They really did it big. And, of course, we dripped out the Purple Machine one year, because every champion that wins YNC, we give them uniforms the following year. We gave that Purple Machine some neon green uniforms with purple helmets. And that sticks out in my mind as some of those dopest uniforms in the game.
Fumble on his third down. Had to back him up several. Gonna bring up a fourth down decision.
Oh, and I'll be remiss not to say the Georgia Eagles. They've been holding it down for the last 3 or 4 years too. Super drippy. I would want Coach JD to hit me up and say, man, how you gonna let me out the drip conversation?
Definitely when you get put on the spot like that,
oh, yeah.
It's tough to remember all of the greats because there have been some really good ones. Atlanta Supreme going to punt this ball. I think that's a smart move with 52 seconds left in this first quarter.
Well, Brandon, let's talk about that. We talked about how high-powered this Supreme offense is, but let's give some credit to this West Orlando defense. They're coming here playing the number 1 ranked team. They've basically, out of one big punt play, bottled up this Supreme offense. And that wasn't even offense, that's special team. But if you evaluate Orlando Jags versus Supreme's offense versus defense, you got to give credit, or you got to give heads now to the Jaguars. They've done their job. They haven't given up a score.
Defense definitely doing their job. Offense, outside of one big run, has not been able to get going, Jonah Willard. They get the ball back at their own 30 here with 40 seconds left in the first quarter. The give is to the black helmet. He was the scorer. He's brought down by a host of tacklers.
So here would be my advice to the Jaguars offensive coordinator. You're not going to win that battle going east and west against the Supreme team. You got to go north and south, even if that's meaning that you're calling a counter or you're inside trapping. But those linebackers for the Supreme team flying east to west, you're not going to be very successful against their speed. You just look at the numbers that they have on those edges there. You look at 30, who's an outside linebacker. That's one of their fastest players. You're not going to get around the corner on him.
Not at all. Second down here. Looks like West Orlando wants to talk about it.
Oh, but that'll be the end of the quarter, Brandon. So it's in the books right now. 8-6 first quarter over here in YNT.
Into one. Atlanta Supreme with an 8-6 lead over West Orlando. You're watching Generation Next Sports, Youth Sports Network, coverage of the YNC. We'll be back in just a moment.
My name is Jackson, and I play O-line, D-line, and we go on smack them.
Okay.
My name is Bo Fletcher. I play quarterback and linebacker. Go Supreme. Harrison Pulley, and I play running back and linebacker, and I'm Big Holt, and we're the number 1 team in the nation. Hi, my name is Brody Jordan, and I play running back, wide receiver,
Mike.
defense, and linebacker.
Yes.
Again. First down.
Enough for a first down, dynamic. Oh, and he did the Heisman pose at the end of it.
Did you see it?
Oh, did I ever?
Oh.
My man striked it. While you on the ground trying to get up, hold on to this.
That was nice.
Yes.
That was something. Well, when you run like he's running,
You deserve it. You deserve it.
hard to hate on that. First down, Jags. Run left, and they are blocking Jody.
And that is Hulk on the tackle. And he had to get up and let Hulk up to here.
Oh.
Yeah, you see 17 flexing right now. He is a football player. He is a complete football player. But
And the fan favorite.
so D3 in the backfield. Looks like he'll get another direct snap again. Empty backfield. And he'll call
He gave us to the left.
Yes. Still on his feet. Oh, man. Still on his feet.
Wow.
Oh, big hit at the sticks. But after he gets to the first down, they'll move the chains once again, Brandon. What do you like what you're seeing this Orlando offense doing right now in this drive?
Well, they're moving the direction they need to be going. They're not going east and west as they have been doing. And so that's going to bring up a first down for West Orlando. They have applied the most offensive pressure in this game, Jonah Woolard, because you talked about pregame how dynamic the Atlanta Supreme offense is. Right now, we're seeing a lot of yards from this West Orlando Jags team.
Oh, he reversed
And this is the young man.
Yeah.
This is the speedy one. And wow.
And a reminder, this is a 7-and-under game. How impressed are you with these hits that's being laid out on the football field?
Impressed with everything. Hits, coaches, the discipline. There haven't been a lot of flags. I've seen some of these games, there have been 20 flags thrown. That just lets you know that football is at a premium right now. Only at the YNC, the best play here, second down. Wildcat, the run is right. There's penetration. Flag on the play. There's a hold.
Yeah, that'll be the wide receiver trying to keep that defensive back coming in. And see, those plays work every once in a while when you can catch the defense off guard. But when you're direct snapping every play and you're just trying to hit the edge, is it going to try to wear out those defensive players, try to contain this West Orlando from running east to west? Yes, but also once the Supreme sets the edge, once they get their defensive ends to come up and set the edge, that becomes a challenge for this West Orlando offense. So let's see who will make the adjustment. That backs them up 10 yards.
West Orlando is not dynamic offensively other than to just say, man, we're going to line up and we're going to run it right at you. We got one of the fastest kids on 7U, and we want to see if you can catch him. There he goes. Yeah. Pick up about 4 yards on the play, Jonah Woolard.
I'm sure Supreme fans, every time these speedy backs get the ball, they're holding their breath to make sure they don't bust a long one, and they have the capability to do so at any time.
And that's kind of what you've been seeing. Every time the young man in pink cleats gets the football, everybody on the Supreme sideline is just quiet.
Because all it takes is one missed tackle. See, that's West Orlando's philosophy here. Hey, you know what we're running, but if you miss one tackle, we're gone. So now we're going to test your open field tackling skills.
Here he goes again. Oh, wow, he turns field. You don't normally want to do that.
Oh, man.
Still on his feet.
Oh, he has some block. He has some block.
What in the world?
Man. Man.
He gets almost back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Jonah, this young man is a problem.
Yeah, he has me tired just watching him, man. That took a lot of me. He ran 50 yards for 1 yard, if you know what I mean, on that one. That brings up fourth down, Brandon. And he's bent over gasping for air right now.
They might want to figure out how to spread the ball around because he's their home run hitter.
Yeah.
And if you overdo it as he goes to the bench, as you see him trotting off the field to get a breather, if you overdo it, you won't have him when you really need him in this fourth quarter.
Well, could West Orlando be setting up Supreme for a potential reverse? You know, if they're doing these direct snaps and they're going east and west, and you happen to have one of your other speedy guys as a wide receiver out there, and you just hand him going the ball the other way, you know, that could be a potential thing that they're setting up. But defenses are winning right now. After those big plays earlier in the game, both teams are going 3 and out.
Both teams have brought their defense to the party today. Brandon O'Doy, Jonah Willard joining you on Generation X, Youth Sport Network. This is an AG Sports production broadcast. Hey, we've been talking about Miss Hedger. We've been going almost 8 games. So sometimes I get a tongue twisted, but nevertheless,
we're still here.
We're so excited. And Jonah, you and I have called youth football. We're over 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
In this game. And what continues to impress me is how good the lower levels are coached, how well they execute, how well they play. We're seeing that in this game today.
Well, this is the future of football, Brandon. This is 7 and under. This is where it all starts from. And just to say football is in good hands.
Good hands on first down. Nice run for Atlanta Supreme. I bring up second down after a gain of 6 yards. This is where I have depth concern questions for West Orlando. Because if I'm Atlanta Supreme, I just try to wear them out. I've got 20 guys on the sidelines. They've got 7 guys on the sideline.
You're talking about an 18-man roster versus a 35-man roster. That becomes a factor when you're playing 4 quarters of football. And the sun is out now. Perfect day of football. There's no rain in sight, but it is going to start taking a toll on them when it gets 3rd and 4th. But we already know that football is always a mental game. If Orlando can really just keep it close, they have a chance to knock off the number 1 team in the nation. And then the number 1 team in the nation, they're saying, listen, we want to make sure we come out here and execute. And that's the thing with 7-0s, right? When you go undefeated throughout the year, you've won 20 games straight. Do they get bored? Do they get complacent? You know, and you got to keep them entertained in some way.
Do they think these teams are just going to lay down when they show up with the icy uniforms and all of the swag?
That is correct.
But we're in their battle.
Well, listen, West Orlando got kids shooting the Heisman Trophy pose on their sideline. So they're not phased. So that kind of answers your question.
These guys are Florida boys.
Yeah.
They ain't going to lay down.
So they go on their sideline, hit the Heisman Trophy pose. And, man, a great day of football, man. They're keeping it classy between both programs. The score is 6-8 for Supreme right now, 4 minutes and 34 seconds in the second quarter before the half. This is the right to move on to the 7 and under championship game.
I've been very impressed with the sportsmanship. You don't see a lot of foolishness out here, and that's a credit to the event organizers and all of the people who put this YNC together. Second down and short here for Atlanta Supreme. Shotgun snap. Movement. False start on Atlanta Supreme. They're going to be backed up 5 yards, Jonah. And this becomes a little bit dangerous here. Because in a tight game and you haven't really established yourself offensively, you don't want to be going backwards.
Big run by Supreme right there, running off tackle, number 1 with the carry, gets across the sticks. Positive yards are hard to come by in this game offensively for both teams.
Haven't seen him since the first drive of the first quarter. It's 4:15 left in the second quarter here of this game. 8-6 contest, very, very well contested. First down, Atlanta Supreme. Shotgun snap. He looks deep. He's got a man open.
Oh,
he
got
connects. First down, Supreme.
And you see him tapping the helmet right there. He know he got him out on that island, and this is what I was telling you. The quarterback can make all the throws, Brandon, and you see him time it right as he runs right under that clean pass, and the defensive back just couldn't go. And let's take a look at this play. And you'll see it develop at the bottom of your screen. It's 1-on-1. That means you got your man 1-on-1, and you cannot give him such a free release. He gets turned around and just runs right by him. Defensive back getting lulled into that run game, keeping his eyes in the backfield, and ended up getting beat for about a 34-yard gain.
First down run up the middle. Supreme looked reinvigorated after that. That's what they're used to, Jonah. And he ran, number 5, he ran right by his defender.
But what 7-year-old quarterback delivers that type of pass, Brandon? You know, at 7 years old, you're used to seeing these quarterbacks throw up what they call the old Hail Mary. That pass is clean.
Number 1 in control for Supreme. He hands off. Left-hand side. Probing. Moving down line. Runs into one of his own blockers there.
Yeah, Brandon, that's enough to move the chains again. Now you got this feeling that the Supreme offense is finally starting to kick in, running their usual go-tos, going to their usual key players. This is the Supreme team that everyone is seeing. And usually when you see Supreme plays another 7U, it's usually a lot to nothing. But West Orlando, having the talent they have, they've kept it close thus far in the first half. Can they keep Supreme out of the end zone before this half expires?
Flag on the play.
And I think they're going to get him on with illegal participation against the defense. Didn't get off the field fast enough, subbing out a player. And that's a shame because he submarined that play in the backfield. That would have been a tackle for a loss. But that's a big penalty before this half expires, Brandon, with 2 minutes and 10 seconds, if that play stands up. And yes, it is. They're going to walk it off.
That's exactly what you don't want to have happen with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in this second quarter of this game. You're West Orlando. You got to get to halftime without giving up a touchdown here. First and 5, Atlanta Supreme. I think the Jags want to talk about this one.
I think they gave an official timeout. They wanted to discuss.
Yeah, 2-minute timeout. First down play. The run is left. Nothing doing. Pick up of about 1 on the play.
Well, I think that play there that Supreme runs is trying to keep that defense honest, Brandon. You know, they know they're not going to get as much as talent as their quarterback is. He's not known for breaking the 80-yard runs, right? But what he does do is keep that defense honest where they have to read and react instead of just react. And so the defensive tackles got to make sure that they're keeping their eyes in the backfield and not just go for the all-out blitz thinking that the quarterback's going to be in one stationary position. So they'll back Supreme up here. I'm not sure the penalty. We have a referee here in the box. Referee, could you give us that penalty that was just marked off? Holding. So we got holding against Supreme to back them up 10 yards, making it 2nd and 13 with 1 minute and 50 seconds in the half.
All right, so 1st and 15 here. 1:30 left, 1:38 left. And another penalty on Supreme. Jonah, they're going the wrong way.
Yeah, well, this is what West Orlando wants. They're like, can we keep this game close? Do what we need to do to make sure we can go into the half at 8-6 and just really playing disciplined football. And for Supreme, man, they're just not being focused trying to close out this half and try to get some points. But again, with the Supreme team, you got to be very careful. This quarterback can make a lot happen in no time at all. Throws it out to the flats. Breaks a tackle, still on his feet.
Still on his feet.
Oh, breaks another tackle, and he steps out of bounds.
And I like the way this young man runs, Jonah Willard. Kind of saunters along. Probing, watching, developing, then attacking.
He gets the 10 yards back from the holding penalty. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. 1 minute and 12 seconds left in this first half. And now that open field tackles, these missed tackles, that can become an issue on any side of the football because, listen, both of these teams are playing disciplined football, but who's the team to make the first mistake defensively?
1 minute 12 remaining. He gets the ball again, number 2. He's brought down. Now, time will become a factor now for Atlanta Supreme as the clock runs under a minute to go, and they still have 3rd down and 8 to go. Jonah Willard.
Absolutely. Clock is ticking.
3rd down play, Atlanta Supreme, they're going to look to pass. He steps back. Wow, throws to a receiver who wasn't there.
Absolutely, almost an interception there. Unlike that quarterback for Supreme, just to really kind of throw it up for grabs there. Very well defended by this West Orlando defense. There was nowhere to go with that ball.
Very well covered. This defense from West Orlando doesn't get enough credit. Like you said, Jonah Willard, Atlanta Supreme blows teams out.
Oh, yeah.
You're number 1 in the world for a reason. At the end of the day, that's not happening right now.
Yeah, West Orlando is definitely playing man mano-a-mano football right now. A very impressive half defensively.
4th down, flag on the play, ball on the ground. The Supreme audience is pointing to West Orlando. They think they jumped off sides. Looks like they are right. It's going to be 5 yards, and make this 4th down, Jonah, with 38 seconds left in the half, more manageable.
Well, absolutely more manageable. Bringing up 4th and 3 now. There's a lot of things that Coach Kai can call out of his back pocket for this Supreme offense, but they'll need to pay attention to this clock at 38 seconds, trying to get points before this half expires.
Timeout on the field. West Orlando's would take their last timeout. They're trotting someone onto the field. Maybe they only had, Jonah Willard, 10 players. Can you imagine?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, when we return, Brandon, I can guarantee you one thing. We got more Supreme, more Jaguars right here on Generation X, Youth Sports Network. Hand off to the left-hand side, Brandon, and he goes right up the middle. Strong run.
Is it enough for a first? It looks like it is.
That absolutely is.
But is there going to be enough time? Time out here. 29 seconds remaining, Jonah, in this half.
Well, Supreme calls a timeout. They want to talk about it. Here's where strategy comes into play. They have 29 seconds, but it's 1st and goal. They have 4 opportunities to get in there. Out of these 4 opportunities, Brandon, you say, hey, listen, we run a run play. It may take a long time to get up off the ground. That time could expire. Do you go to the air, at least on 1st and 10, to see what you can get so you can guarantee yourself some time?
Well, you got to be able to take into account the clock running. So if you're a passing team and you can do that effectively, this is a good time to put that into play, especially at 7U, because you can manage the clock. The trouble with that is you have to take care of the football.
Correct.
So a condensed field, because you're only at around the 7-yard line, passing becomes difficult, but it's effective with clock management right now. We'll see what they do. 1st and goal. Shotgun snap. Looking for the post corner. No one's there.
Miscommunication between the wide receiver and the quarterback.
It's going to bring up 2nd down. Still 24 seconds remaining in the half.
Now that you've seen that much time come off the clock between that play, do you go back to the air again, or do you try your hand and try to get this ball into the end zone?
You got to be careful about timeout. So if you run the ball and you can't get lined up again, you lose an opportunity to score. I think you stay in the air here. We'll find out what they decide to do. 2nd down. Shotgun snap, the give. I was wrong. The run. Looks like he'll get in.
Wow. So
touchdown.
They trust Sweet Feet with 28 seconds left in the half to get in and capitalize, running right in the teeth of that West Orlando Jaguars. Now, what does that do to the psyche of this defense? Giving up a touchdown late in the second half, going down basically a score to start the 3rd quarter.
Not just the psyche, the methodical nature of the drive, how long it was. So they look for the extra point here. This is big now because this will put the game beyond 1 score. And he will get it. He walks in. Wow.
And that's what you have to be very careful about, the mental psyche of 7-year-olds. Sometimes you get up on the touchdown and go a touchdown. They get out of the game. Sometimes they check out. Like, you know what, man, I can't wait to get off this football field, get back home, play some, whatever it is, PlayStation.
That extra point is important.
But whatever that is, so as a football coach at West Orlando, what do you tell your team right now to keep them tuned in and locked into this game to compete, to go to the national championship?
Got to tell them we can hurt this team. We've got the ability to do so. Let's stay in this game. But it's exactly, and you start seeing in the body language of West Orlando, sun is out, it's getting a little bit warmer. Even though these are Florida kids, it can get hot. It's the middle of the day, the warmest part of the day, Jonah Willard. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a situation where I think this second half rather, is going to really challenge this West Orlando team. They got to do some team management here. Try to stay in this football game. Right now, they're down 10. Atlanta Supreme will kick off. 16 seconds remaining. Ball out of bounds. Still don't want to try and test this West Orlando pink cleat young man. They are not going to give him an opportunity to return the football. So West Orlando will take over, trailing 16-6. They'll be able to get at least one playoff before we go to half here in Wellington. First down and 10 from the 50-yard line for West Orlando. Motion, pass, he's open, complete, he's going. Will he get there? No, but he's out of bounds, and that stops the clock.
Brandon,
7 seconds left.
That's a huge play on so many levels, not just now, but just to know they can get that against this defense at running that type of corner, type of route. Now, 6 seconds left. Man, you're talking about what would it do for this West Orlando Jags team if they can somehow get in this end zone before the half.
They run that play again. They will not get the play off. Halftime. Here, Wellington. Generation X. West Orlando trailing Atlanta Supreme 16-6. Jonah Willard going to half.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you here for joining us at Generation X Youth Sports Network. When we return, we'll have the second half that'll go down in history. Which team will continue on for the 7 and under national championship? We'll find out right here on Generation X Youth Sports Network.
Hi, my name is Brody Jordan, and I play running back, wide receiver, DN, and linebacker. Ethan Brown, I play O-line, D-line. My name is Ethan Brown, O-line, D-line. My name is MJ, aka Hitman, and I play D-line and H-back and tight end. My name is Dwayne Johnson, but they call me Big D. And the position I play is offensive line, defensive line. And
Come on. You bet. You the best. Action. Who the best? You go ahead.
my name is Dwayne Johnson.
Loud.
My name is Kyle White. I play wide receiver and linebacker. Welcome Supreme. My name is Kyle White. I play wide receiver and linebacker. Welcome to Supreme Land.
My name is Corey Gibbs. I am the strength and conditioning coach and help with the defense a little bit. We number one team in the nation. We're going to go out here, we're going to handle. My name is Corey Gibbs. I'm the strength and
No, don't move, because when you move, you get out of.
conditioning. I'm Corey Gibbs. I'm the strength and conditioning coach. I help with the defense.
Call out.
What's up, man? Coach O is supreme. Coach O-line, D-line, man, the best line in the nation. You'll see today and the whole weekend, baby.
Loud. Hold on, wait.
Coach Maurice with Supreme, defensive coordinator, been defense in the country.
I coach Curly. I coach wide receivers, help out with the marketing. Hey, go Supreme. We as advertised.
Coach Kai, head coach of Supreme, man. We here to win the first natty for this group right here, man. Excited to do it, man. Best team in the nation as advertised.
Hey, man, today y'all got Coach Marlin out here, man. I work with the defense, linebackers, corners, DNs, and I'm going to tell you something, boy. We came here not to play today.
Hey, this is Coach D coming all the way from Orlando. Number one team in the country. West Orlando Jags, Sauce Boys #1. We'll get the win today.
Juan Cruz, man, head coach in West Orlando, Florida, man. You already know what time it is. #1 in Florida, baby.
My name Coach Drew. I'm the DC, West Orlando Jags, #1 defense in the nation.
My name is Tyler Watkins. I play wide receiver and DN. Go Supreme.
Great.
My name is Isaiah Adams. I play wide receiver and cornerback.
Action.
My name is Isaiah Adams. I play wide receiver and cornerback. Go Supreme. My name is I play wide receiver and quarterback, and my AKA Showtime, AKA. My name is Julian. I play running back. My name is. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Sweetfield. Oh.
You guys.
I play DN, linebacker, wide receiver, and yeah. My name is Darren Brown. I play running back and safety, and they call me Safety. My name is Jelani Jordan. I play wide receiver, quarterback, and I'm Honey Land. Oh, my name is Zakari, and I play DN. Let's go Supreme.
Okay. I just said. Action. Yeah.
My name is Ashley. I'm a driver.
Talk loud. Talk loud. Talk loud. Go.
My name is Kaisha. I'm a driver.
All right.
My name's Caleb. My position is lineman, and
Come on. Action.
my name's Caleb. My position is lineman. We the best team in the nation. We never lose. We getting them VBs. Be him.
Action.
My name is Mateo, and we're in the West Orlando Jags, and my name's Mateo, we're in the West Orlando Jags, and we're the #1 in the nation.
Right.
I'm Coach Burke. I coach West Orlando Jags, 7U South Boys.
Action.
My name's Logan.
Loud.
My name's Logan. My position is DN and for South Boys.
Say it loud.
My name is Christian Pena. I'm from Sauce Boys. I play offensive defense. We have Sauce Boys Con.
Action.
My name is Frank Peters. We're going to be the #1 team. I got about 5 rings last year to this year. My position on defense is very on offense. It's a tight end or sometimes.
Come on. Action.
My name is Andrew Williams.
Action.
My name is Andrew Williams. I play running back and linebacker. Sophomore. My name is McAllister Jenkins, and I play DN and D tackle, and we never won in the nation.
Action.
My name is Brendan. I play.
Hello, my name.
Loud. Action.
Hello, my name is Epson Marset. I play for West Orlando Jags, and we the best team in the nation.
Action.
My name is Boo, and my position that I play D-line on defense. And if we go against this team, we gon' whoop them.
Call loud. Go.
My name is Tyler, and I play for the West Orlando Jaguars. And I play wide receiver and outside linebacker, and we're the best in the nation.
Action.
I play.
What's your
My
name?
name is Cornelius John.
Go.
My name is Cornelius John Smith Jr. I play for Orlando Jags, and my position is corner, D tackle, and tight end.
Action.
My name is Antoine Cruz Jr.
Louder.
My name is Antoine Cruz Jr. I play corner, and we're the #1 team in the nation. But I can't stop working to beat this team right now.
Oh.
My name is Marvin, and I play DN, and I play DN, and we're South Boys.
All right.
My name is Devon, and I play running back, and
Action.
my name is Devon. I play running back and middle linebacker, and we're #1 in the nation.
There you go. Action.
My name is Hendrix, and I play safety, and I'm an athlete. And we're going to be the #1 team in the United States.
And we're back. Brandon O'Doy, Jonah Willett. Kickoff, second half. And it's to the fastest man on the football field, Jonah Willett.
Oh, man. Looks like his face mask got turned around there. And they're going to hit him with a 15-yarder there.
You know why? Because they said, you cannot get out of my grasp.
At all costs.
I'm sure they'll trade that for a touchdown. How do we get here? 16-6. Atlanta Supreme. Kickoff return for a touchdown and a methodical drive down the field like they are known for, running and passing. Big play on offense for the Jaguars. Outside of 2 plays, 1 drive, they've been pretty good on defense. But Jonah Willett, we talked about it at the half. This West Orlando team, they're understaffed. Yeah. They've got to get some mojo going to get back into this football game in this second half.
Well, yeah, you got to think of some creative ways when you don't have the depth that the other team has. You got to think of some creative ways to keep your kids energized. You got to come up with some creative subs and have your sub coach on deck, making sure you can keep fresh players at all times. Versus that, Supreme has the luxury of having almost 35 players on their roster.
Sun is out. First down run is tough. To the right-hand side, he picks up a couple, bring up second down.
Yeah, V3 runs into some tough sledding there. It's always going to be hard taking on number 17, 101. That kid, like I told you, nickname is Hulk. He'll definitely put pressure at all areas.
A traditional 50 front for this defense, Jonah Willett. Probably expecting run on every play. Movement there. False start. That'll back West Orlando up 5 yards. Fans screaming, they are tired, Jonah Willett.
Absolutely. Well, like we said, these signs of fatigueness comes in the later part of the games. And so we want to see how this West Orlando Jag team is going to be holding up late in the third and the beginning of the fourth quarter. Like I said, the coaches just got to stay on top of subbing their players.
They've got some beef on that line. Some shifting happening. Couple of lead blockers for the runner.
Oh, man.
He's brought down. Nowhere to run.
And see, now I think Supreme has made those halftime adjustments to stop that direct snap, either going east and west. So they diagnosed it, they dissected, I should say, and really pursuing. When they see one player in the empty backfield, they know whoever's getting the snap of that ball, they're keying on them. So you have to make that adjustment. If you look at the comparison of 2 type of offensive styles, it has been all direct snaps the entire day for West Orlando. We haven't seen the ball going in the air. We haven't seen really even an I formation or a tailback being handed off the ball. So it's kind of easy at this point for the Supreme defense to recognize what they're doing, Brandon.
Easy indeed, and check out this timeout right out of halftime, letting you know something is really wrong, because you typically would not want to spend one so fast, especially in a game where you're trailing by 2 scores. We are live from Wellington, Florida. You're watching Generation Next Youth Sports Network. Brandon O'Doy, Jonah Willett on the call. 7U football YNC semifinal matchup. Number 1 team in the land. Atlanta Elite Supreme. The Ducks taking on the West Orlando Jaguars. This is a semifinal matchup. The winner will advance to be able to claim the right to fight for a youth football national championship here at the YNC. So after the early timeout, Jonah, and that's got to be something that's sort of regrettable to have to call one so soon in the third quarter.
Well, here's a new formation for West Orlando. You're seeing a quarterback with the tailback in the backfield with him, and it seems like they have a little confusion even after that timeout. Players looking back, trying to see what play he has, and they're having some discussions. And they got to be careful that they don't get a delay of game here. He's still
it's
not
an unbalanced line. And you called it a penalty. Wasn't a delay of game, but it was a false start. And I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there are only one young man on the right side of the center. Everybody else was on the left.
Yeah, and so they get a false start because you cannot approach the line of scrimmage that aggressively if you're going into a shift. So they call him with the false start, backs up 5 yards, and still trying to get some instruction here about what they're doing. They keep looking for the sideline if this is correct play.
Things are getting a little bit hectic for West Orlando.
So he throws it to the flats, and you can see that play took a little time. It wasn't something that it looks like they practiced a lot, Brandon. Could they be reaching for straws now offensively against this defense?
They're looking for explosive plays because the game has basically made itself known. And now you punt the ball away, giving up your advantage of getting the ball out of halftime. And you give good field position to Atlanta Supreme. Be first down and 10 for Atlanta Elite Supreme. They'll scrimmage from the 45-yard line.
And I'll tell you, Brandon, from just an evaluation standpoint, I really like the skill positions that West Orlando Jags had. You talk about D3 with the black helmet we made reference to, the kid with the pink shoes on who's extremely fast. They have skill positions here. They have players. You've seen there's not a lot of teams that can take the ball on a 70-yard touchdown run. Would you say West Orlando has just been challenged a little bit from the coaching perspective today and so forth as philosophy is an offensive game planning in a championship game outside of just direct snaps?
Oh, I don't want to blame their coach. I think they've got depth issues. They block really well. They play good defense. As you can see here, they don't give up a lot of explosive plays. This Atlanta Supreme team has to earn everything they've gotten. The only thing they got cheap was, the kickoff return. And that's, to me, a function of just having to spend so much time working in practice on offense and defense, being a very, again, understaffed, low-depth team. They give us to the right.
Flag on the play.
There's going to be a flag on this one, but it's a great run. He might even go. Wow. If that flag is not on the offense, that's going to be a touchdown, Atlanta Supreme, but let's check it.
Just showing you his skill set.
Holding.
As he bobs in and out of that defense and just turns on
a
smooth run.
I like him. I like him.
Smooth run.
I like him. He runs the way he runs. He probes. He doesn't rush to the line. He's patient. Sets up his runs. He's got power. Look at, he's putting his hand on his head. He's like, how? I had an awesome run. How can it be that it's going back? But it will go back 10 yards, Jonah. And it's much ado about nothing, unfortunately. And I just look at this West Orlando team, Jonah, as they walk back, they are gassed.
Yeah, well, giving up a big run, you thank God for the penalty, so it comes back in again, but now you got to line it up and do it again.
Second and 20, Atlanta Elite. The run is right. This young man is very good, the quarterback.
And again, that is to keep that defense honest, to make sure they're in their rushing lanes, because if they're not, they're coming right behind the center, and that just gives them a big chunk of yards, maybe a run of 9.
It's going to bring up third down and 8 for Atlanta Supreme. He drops back the pass. Oh, that ball hung up there. Oh! Almost reached over and grabbed it just out of his hands.
Yeah, well, he attacked the ball. The only difference is that the West Orlando player was sitting waiting for the ball, and Supreme went to attack the ball. High arcing pass. Almost had an opportunity for West Orlando Jags to come up with an interception.
Almost doesn't count, unfortunately. 4th down and a decision here at midfield, Jonah Woolard.
Absolutely. So that's with 5 minutes and 41 seconds in the third quarter. Score 16-6 Supreme over West Orlando Jags. 4th and maybe 7 or close to 8. Let's see what the call will be here.
Looks like they're going to punt. Quarterback walking off the field. Smart move here. Up 2 scores, 10 points.
Yeah, I agree, Brandon. You know, it's field position game for Supreme, and they don't want to really gamble of letting this team get closer within that 16-6 lead that they have right now. So they'll make their defense come out there and contain them because they've been successful outside of one big play against West Orlando Jags. They've been really successful at containing the multi-talented West Orlando offense when you have several players that can really take it a difference for this Jaguars offense.
So it's going to bring up 1st down and 10 at the 25-yard line of the West Orlando Jags. 5:23 remaining in the third quarter. Jags trailing by 10. And they're direct snapping into the fastest player on the field. He's got nowhere to run. He trusts his speed so much, he doesn't mind going backwards, but this time he's caught.
Yeah, team defense by Supreme. They're able to bottom it up. And again, they are looking for whoever has a direct snap, they're king to that player.
I bring up 2nd down and long for West Orlando. Sun is directly eyeing down on both of these teams here on Field 1 in Wellington, Florida. Direct snap, probing along the right-hand side, not much there. Those holes are getting smaller and smaller for West Orlando, Jonah.
Well, Brandon, again, the Supreme defense has an IQ that they're dissecting that direct snap. Be great if West Orlando can give them some type of counter to that play. Direct snap and hand it off to another back or another wide receiver or slot coming in motion just to catch the Supreme defense off guard.
Gonna be 3rd down here, 3rd and long.
Got multiple players in motion right there.
Multiple players in motion, lots of confusion and commotion.
Yeah, so they'll mark them off 5 yards, back them up, false start. And at this point, Brandon, they just got to calm down, get the kids collected. This is a good time for a timeout. Say, hey, listen, we're still in this game. 3 minutes and 56 seconds in the third quarter. Let's calm down. Let's drive down the field. Let's take what the defense gives us and get back into the competition. But you can't, at this point, kind of feed to the fire, having mistakes and penalties and going backwards. Because right now, you look at the down and distance, it's almost 3rd and 25 right now.
3rd and very long, 3:35 left in the third quarter. Handoff, disaster. Looks like West Orlando is able to fall back onto the football, but gee whiz.
Yeah, well, Brandon, you don't want to give this team help. You don't want to help Supreme. They're already a good team. So they're taking some direction. They know they need to be creative now. They tried to reverse there, but it's always about what you practice, right? Because whatever you practice, you can execute in the game. And it doesn't seem like they run that play too often because now you're in a position that you're not used to trailing in a game, and so you're trying these different things. So right now, West Orlando knows they have to be creative offensively. They can't just direct snap against this Supreme defense and think they're going to be successful.
West Orlando punt, trailing by 10. Ball turned over on downs. You're watching Generation X, Youth Sports Network.
Is Rare Breeds one of the most electrifying youth football teams?
Live action here. 1st down, false start on Atlanta Supreme. Looking to ice this game away.
Handoff around the corner. Has some room in and out as he probes against that defense.
That's him again. That's him again, Jonah.
He'll get across the 40-yard line.
So Atlanta Supreme is looking to add to their lead here. Clock is rolling, 2:20 left in the third quarter. This team can run, pass, and they've got dynamic returners on specials. West Orlando played a fairly decent game against the number one team. It's kind of getting a little worn out during this game. The give is to the right. Quarterback keeps it himself. He's been excellent today.
That's enough to move the chains once again, Brandon, as time ticks down in this third quarter. Minute and 48 seconds left in this third quarter as Supreme offense is rolling. And they're doing a methodical once again. Running off tackle, quarterback drift, quarterback sneaks.
So Atlanta Supreme is threatening on the West Orlando 29-yard line. Going in, the give is to the left. One man, two men, three bring him down.
Excellent team defense by West Orlando, and that's number 30 there. That's the one who gave you the kickoff return. If he gets an open field, you can count a touchdown, but very disciplined defense by setting the edge for West Orlando there, cutting him down right at the line of scrimmage.
And I want to highlight the young man that missed the tackle but did his job by containing, and because he got just enough of the ball carrier, his team was able to rally to the football and make the tackle behind the line.
Well, listen, you want all hats to the football, as defensive coordinators always teach, and that's an example why.
The give is to the right.
Oh, and that's going to be a holding play. That happened right in front of us.
He is so dynamic. They hold every time he runs a touchdown. That's the second one that's going to be called back.
He's so frustrated knowing that, man, he's bust over 100 yards just in callback plays.
Unbelievable. I feel so sorry for that young man.
Man, so he's up there celebrating, doing the flex, and he's like, why is the rest of my team not celebrating with me? Is it something?
He's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going back. I'm going to get one. One of these is going to count.
Yeah, well, there was a takedown right at the line of scrimmage. If we saw a replay of it, you would see this takedown like the WWE.
It's not even necessary.
Yeah. So they'll back him up 10 yards.
These games just get more and more important, more and more pressure packed as the day goes along here at YNC, Jonah.
Absolutely.
11 seconds and counting in this third quarter of play. This will be the last play of the quarter if they get it off. And they do. The give is to the left. One man to beat. He won't. He will. He won't.
And listen, this defensive back playing on the edge, small in size, big in surprise.
He's been great.
Out there one-on-one, great open field tackle for the West Orlando Jags defensive back. Listen, he gets this guy one-on-one and he brings him down, and that's a big running back. But that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for your third quarter of action. As we are in the semifinal, next game will be a youth national championship for these teams. And, man, West Orlando still in the fight, Brandon.
They're still in the fight. We're in the fourth quarter. We're in the game. Generation Next, YNC, Jonah Wood, Brandon O'Doy, AD Sports Productions, Wellington, Florida, battle, the very best of the best. No running from smoke.
Exactly.
You cannot avoid it. There are reasons people don't come to YNC, Jonah.
Yeah, well, no duck, duck, goose, goose over here, man. You got to play the best competition. And sometimes people don't like the seeding because they're going to play the best team off rip.
What difference does it make?
Hey,
you got to beat them to win anyway.
That's all I'm saying, Brandon, you know, and so we can't.
Play them when you're fresh.
Listen, in an NFL, do you think when they line you up against your AFC division or when you got to play a conference game, hey, listen, well, we see the Bills record right now. Those guys are 10-1. Chiefs, they're 10-1. We don't want to play them. The only way we're willing to play for a Super Bowl is if you let us play the team with the worst record.
But, Jonah, let's talk about that. Yeah. Why would you want to play the best team later in the week? This is a multi-game during the week format. Why don't I want to play my best competition when I'm the freshest? What sense does it make?
Well, that's a smart hypothesis right there, Brandon. If you come in here and say, hey, listen, I'm coming out fresh. Is that the best team? Listen, while I'm fresh, let's knock them off. I don't want to come in lame.
You can't scout me?
Yeah, true. But you have some teams that say, man, we don't want that competition. We're going to
listen, running, I never met a great team that ran from anybody.
Unless you're Usain Bolt.
First down, third down play here. Instead of flats.
Woo! Oh
my God. This young man.
Is this going to be his third touchdown today? And this one counts. There's no laundry on the field. And and there's no flag. There's discussions.
There's a flag down.
Now listen, I thought at one point that his knee touched when he was out in the football field, but maybe that's just my bad.
And I thought they were going to get a block in the back that was completely unnecessary on a player down the field for West Orlando. But it looks like they're moving toward the extra point. It looks like they're going to give it to him. He deserved it. I mean, when you run for 3,
give him at least 1 out of 3.
Give him 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
Sweet Feet putting on an MVP performance in this semifinal game here in Wellington, Florida, Brandon.
He's special. He really is. He set up his runs. He let the game come to him. Very confident in his abilities. He's worth the conversation. He's worth the talk. He's worth all of those things. I believe it. Extra point try here. They'll walk in. I think West Orlando might be a little gassed, Jonah.
Well, yeah. Again, we knew coming in the third and fourth quarter, fatigue would be an issue. The roster compared to you look over there on the other side, and let's do the physical count, Brandon. How many players do you see on West Orlando sideline right now? I'm counting 3 on the bench and 2 standing up.
Well,
that's a low roster.
Those guys on the bench were standing before. This fourth quarter, they're sitting. It's a big difference.
And then you look on the opposite side of the football field. You see all these white uniforms, green helmets, almost like you were a collegiate team. And so then that plays a factor. You know, that plays in a factor of having a fresh roster that can play 4 quarters of football.
Make no mistake about it. This Jaguar team, they came to play today. They just didn't have enough bodies.
Yeah, very talented team. You can see the skill position set on there. That's the future in West Orlando right now. If that group of team or that group of kids stay together on that team, they're going to have a very special organization in West Orlando. You can imagine them at 9U and 10U and just putting some plays together.
Put some pieces around it. I mean, you got very good trenches.
Yeah.
You got very good skills. Probably could use a quarterback, a true quarterback. You put some pieces around this West Orlando team, you got something really good to work with.
I agree.
Ball recovered. West Orlando. Bringing up first down as they trot onto the field here. Know they're tired, but they got to give their best effort on the way out here or things can get kind of ugly. Because Supreme, they're going to keep putting their foot on the gas here. As you hear Mom saying, Supreme Mom saying, we don't get tired. Easy not to get tired when you got a lot of kids on the sideline.
Easy not to get tired when you're on the sideline with your purse on your hip, right? I bet you don't get tired.
Looking like you ain't in the gym with us running these laps, Mom.
Oh.
All right, first down, Jags. Direct snap. That's been the MO. Pick up of 3. The moms in the chat on Generation X saying that's right.
That's right.
We don't get tired. We got it, Mom. Second down here. Wildcat, direct snap. Yes. 4 quarters of that. That's tough, Joe.
It's a bit much, Brandon. That's the theme. And listen, that's what got them here, so you can't knock them.
I get it.
I
mean, that's going to work on 95% of the people they play.
Right. And
there's a player down.
Yeah, there's a player down. Listen, Brandon, this gives us an opportunity to pay some bills here. And when we come back after this injury return, 8 minutes and 43 seconds determines on what team goes to the Youth National Championship at 7 and under.
When we step on the motherfucking field, we busting heads, we ask questions later. There is no tomorrow for us.
Take them for the wine seat. We shooting a movie. Meet us on the set. We at wine seat. Wine seat. Want to smoke. You know where it's at. At the wine seat with it. Gotta know it too. Wine seat. Yeah, that's where everybody be. Hey, wine seat. Last year we gave the folk the key to the wine seat. Who gon' be the last one to leave out the wine seat? Pull up and I get out here and freeze. Hey, yeah, this is where it started at. Where your skills, where your rank, where your heart at. Where your fans, where your coaches, where your squad at. It's how you finish up the drill. It don't matter where you start at. Hey,
When this guy hits the hole, watch it, Jonah. As soon as it opens up, he's full speed. Gone. I called it right there.
Wow.
Even with a guy running behind him, look, that guy catches most people. He ain't gonna catch. He's not gonna catch pink cleats. Not today.
Wow. Impressive. And like I said, this is a bright future for this West Orlando Jags team.
And it's quiet on the Supreme sideline.
Well, Supreme parents, they have pride. They don't like to see, they know what's up. They don't want to see their team get sprayed 90 yards.
Quiet. So let's go back. What could West Orlando have done given the fact that they have a guy that's a one-hitter quitter?
Well, I think you have to think of creative ways to get him into the open field. You know, create some diversions, get him out on bubble screens, make him where the outside defender has to make a one-on-one tackle, give him a bubble screen where the cornerback comes up and say, if he misses that tackle, he's gone. I think it's a challenge when you're doing it from behind the center and he has to get past those linebackers. He has to get past those big defensive tackles. You know, but if you get him to the edge, off rip, okay, and he only has to shift out one cornerback and it's a foot race with the safety, I think that's where you can make him be successful. Sometimes you have to set up your offense around the players you have and the talent you have and not have the players try to go around your playbook.
Well, it's still a 2-score lead, but 12 points is a lot of offense for a team at 7U with only 8 minutes remaining in the game? So we've got to get to the conclusion of this game, and as you see, West Orlando's going to kick off from an unheard of Atlanta Supreme 35-yard line with a penalty on the previous play. Maybe our referees in the booth can explain. Sideline infraction, running into a coach. It's kind of like that skit you see on Instagram.
Well, you got to understand, for the safety of the refs, they're not looking at the coaches. They're pursuing a play, and that meaning they're trusting that the sideline is clear. Someone can really get hurt. You're talking about a ref running full speed, and all of a sudden you're just decleated. Someone can really get hurt. So you got to make them pay, in a sense, to say, clear our sideline. And I don't know if you've ever been hit, Brandon, like looking one way and somebody just decleats you out of nowhere. It's not a good feeling.
No, it doesn't feel good at all. So West Orlando still with a chance in this game. But they are going to have to be near perfect for the next 8 minutes.
A lot of confusion right here, right now.
They don't get a chance to work on it.
And that's not who you want to kick it to, Brandon. Number 30.
Good thing is he's near the sidelines.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But like you say, not the right guy.
So your clock is at 8 minutes and 3 seconds in the fourth quarter. 24-12 is your score. The 2 touchdowns from West Orlando Jags were dynamic touchdowns. One of the 62-yard variety and the other one almost for a 90-yard touchdown. Just on those 2 carries alone, kid has over 150 yards. How impressive is that against the Supreme defense?
Super impressive. I mean, that young man, he's going to be considered one of the best 7U players in the country if he isn't already. His resume just this game speaks to his speed, his vision, his ability, and he's doing it understaffed. I just can't say enough good things about him. And number 2 on Atlanta Supreme. I don't want to take anything away from him. Both these dynamic runners have really shown their ability today. First down Supreme. They're going to ice this out. The run with 30. He's going to want to stay in bounds. He's heading towards the sidelines.
Oh!
He's brought down out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. Or will it? Clock is going to continue to run.
Well, his forward progress didn't get him out of bounds. And so if your forward progress is in bounds, that clock is going to still keep running. He'll need to run completely out of bounds on his own will, not by a tackle. Supreme taking their time now, Brandon.
There's no need to rush.
Yeah.
7 minutes, 18 seconds to go and counting. They're going to run this thing out. 4-yard gain.
And this is a very spirited Jaguars team. I like this team. Brandon, we'll definitely keep our eyes on this team going up, especially going into the 2025 season. This is a team definitely to watch as they played a, spirited football, a low roster. But listen, it was no quit in these kids today. No quit.
Hey, listen, man. You like when people play 4 quarters of football no matter what the circumstances are. But at some point, you see the domination, wide open pass, and that's what I'm speaking to, Jonah.
Man.
The stiff arm.
Oh,
see
man.
you later.
Wow.
Ball game.
Wow. And we're going to get a block in the back unnecessarily. As he was walking the end zone, we had a Supreme player just kind of give somebody the business at the 10-yard line.
You hate to see that. That's a selfish play.
Yeah.
That takes back a very, very well-earned touchdown possibly.
Absolutely. And if I'm not mistaken, ref, that is a spot foul, correct? If he's blocked in the back prior to getting the end zone, they'll mark the yards from that spot. And so, like you said, Brandon, it's confirmed up in the booth. It is a spot foul. So where the infraction took place, they'll walk it off from there. It's unfortunate. Well,
that's what they're discussing. If the referees are saying there is a penalty on the play, but it will depend on where the ball carrier was when the penalty took place. If he was already across the goal line, it will not count. If he was not across the goal line, it's a spot foul.
Right. So if he was across the goal line, they would assess it either on the kickoff or the point after attempt.
And it looks like they are awarding him with the touchdown.
Yeah.
So it was a penalty after the runner had crossed the goal line.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
A lot to digest there, but thankfully we have our referee consultants.
Absolutely. We make the phone call to New York. We don't have to be like the NFL. We have our refs in-house.
We don't have to call them.
Listen, NFL, you can take some lessons from us.
Our referees are on site.
On site. No calls to New York today. So now the score is increased 30-12 before the point after attempt. Woo, big hit.
Big hit, but he will get in, Jonah. And you like to see that. That young man made an excellent catch and a great stiff arm.
He deserved it. He deserved
to get it.
That stiff arm was legendary, you know? And so you would really hurt. You would not want to see someone get that type of penalty after putting in that type of effort. So the score is 32-12 with 6 minutes and 21 seconds in this game. And because we are 32-12 right now, we are going to go on that running clock. But let's take a look at this play. How to develop and how did they get into the end zone, Brandon?
Well, first, one thing I noticed, he dropped back under center.
Yeah.
So look at the play action pass, turn and throw. Just excellent execution. That stiff arm is legendary.
I got to tell you, Brandon, I'm so impressed with this quarterback. If you look at that play, he does his proper drop steps. He steps into the throw, gets his shoulder square, and delivers a strike. And then it's hard when you're running right down the middle of the field. That puts a lot of pressure on the defense to make sure they're covering one-on-one. And then the wide receiver did the rest. Those yak yards are everything.
Listen, great effort by Woj, not enough. But you love to see them fight. Juggernaut teams, lots of parent support, sometimes can be intimidating.
Yeah, well, listen, I can tell you what, Brandon, West Orlando Jags, they have my respect. They came out here with a low roster, didn't run from the smoke. They could have came and said, hey, listen, Brandon, Jonah, we only got 18, 19 players. We're going to wait till next year. We didn't feel we were ready.
The indications are from people online in the chat that all their players didn't make it. That's obvious. But the guys who they came here with, they played football.
Yeah.
And they can go home with a lot of confidence. Gotta give props to West Orlando. This is an organization that's relatively new. You used to hear from teams like the Orlando Outlaws and some of those West Orange and Dr. Phillips teams.
Let me tell you something, Brandon. Right now, the hot organization in the Orlando area is the West Orlando Jags. They're just not on this particular. Oh, and we'll let you call this play here.
That would have been a disaster, but it is recovered.
You got the family on West Orlando Jags winning the game. You know, you got a lot of different age levels that West Orlando is now making the power move. If you want to get great coaching and be on teams that do the national football platforms, West Orlando Jags as an organization is doing it big, bar none in the Orlando
That
area.
13U last year was pretty decent as well.
Absolutely, not only pretty decent, but they won the national championship, so they walked away with it. So they got West Orlando Jags has a national championship trophy in their closet, in their trophy closet.
3:47 in the running clock here. West Orlando, tremendous effort, 32-12. Like we said, understaffed, challenged by depth. That's difficult when you're playing the best team in the country at 7U. Nevertheless, no fight, no quit in this team. They fought all 4 quarters. Gonna be a delay of game here. They've been challenged by some coaching things, organization. But, you know, they put it together. They didn't say, hey, man, we can't make it.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you two teams that definitely were licking at the chops to be here. The game that comes up next, Brandon, the 11 under actions. You have the number 1 ranked team that's coming up on this field, the Georgia Eagles, undefeated on this season. They were dislodged, or I want to say, they took a loss in the national championships last year to Twin City. But the year before that, they were the national championships. They want to get back to that national championship right here today. But it starts through a hot team out of Texas. That team is DEA. DEA just knocked off the AYF national champs, the Miami Gardens Ravens, and so they are feeling themselves right now. They come into this game very confident. So two teams feeling that they're fully confident. These two teams played each other earlier this season, Brandon, and let me tell you, DEA had Miami Gardens, not Miami Gardens, the Georgia Eagles down by half. It was not until the half that the Georgia Eagles had to come from behind to win. So DEA playing inspired football. Let's see what happens in this game next coming up.
Second down run, it stopped. Oh man, number 17.
2 minutes and 1 second running, and the clock will not stop. Scores 32-12. So the clock will keep running.
Clock will keep running indeed. Third down here for West Orlando. They got a ways to go for a first. They're going to try to score on this. Put some window dressing or salad dressing on this loss.
We didn't go away easily.
This young man can be the one.
Oh, ball's on the ground.
Oh, man. And that's it.
Yeah, that's going to end that game, ladies and gentlemen. It will be Supreme's ball. And all Supreme has to do is take one knee, and they will move on to the next round. Thank you here, guys, for joining myself and Brandon O'Doyle and my man AG in the background. I'm better known as Al Goodlow. We don't say the government's out here too often, but he deserves the prop best in the game. As we get ready for 11 and under action, man, keep it locked this entire week. We get ready to crown 2024 Youth National Champions this Saturday and Sunday. And that running clock will not stop. So they'll shake hands right here. 42 seconds left in the game. Brandon, what'd you say about this matchup here at the 7 and under?
Super impressed by West Orlando, but the better team came out. Atlanta Supreme, they asserted themselves. Like the way West Orlando fought. Would have loved to see them at full strength. Nevertheless, they did not duck. They did not dodge. They did not run. But the best team in the land is moving on.
Congrats to Supreme as they'll be moving on. We'll be very curious of what uniforms they'll wear next game as they keep the drip always on lock. Shout out to those boys, West Orlando Jags. I'm sure you'll be hearing a lot of noise from this team coming up in the Central Florida area. I'm Jonah Woolard. Brandon O'Doyle is my partner in crime today. On the ones and twos is Al. We'll see you soon at 11 and under the matchup right here on Generation X Youth Sports Network.